Hi there.
Hiya.
How you doing? I'm Gordon, one of the doctors. Can I just confirm your name and age, please?
Yeah, my name's Kevin O'Loughlin and I'm 42.
42. Hi, Kevin. Is that okay if I call you Kevin?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I've just kind of been reading a bit of background about your notes and stuff like that. What's your understanding about why you've came here today?
Well, I received a letter in the post to come here. It's about getting the results from my scan. Said to try to phone up and get a result today to tell me by person, and then it said to bring a family member. So I'm a bit worried of what it could be or what it is.
Okay, so talk me through, just kind of walk me through about what's going on. So you're here for the results of you had a biopsy taken during a scope and you had a CT scan afterwards, is that correct?
Yeah.
So what kind of made all that happen? What symptoms did you have?
Well, okay, so about 8 or 9 weeks ago, started noticing blood in my poo. A bit embarrassing. Kind of, I was losing a bit. To be perfectly honest with you, it was a bit before that. I just didn't want to tell anyone about it. I just let it go away.
Yeah.
I lost a little bit of weight as well. When my wife picked up on it more than anything else, it was just stuff wasn't fitting me. Well, I wasn't under any diet. I started getting a bit worried because obviously they continued. I went to see my GP. And then they referred me to get a scan, like you said. And they've, they've sent me home and told me they couldn't give me any news there and then. Obviously, I'd have to go through everything, and I'm here.
Okay. Did they tell you what they were looking for, or are you worried about anything?
Well, obviously the main thing I'm worried about is cancer, and that was briefly talked about when I tried to probe the GP and the other consultant. So that's my biggest fear at this present moment.
Okay. Well, I do have your results here, Kevin. Just now, you mentioned in a letter, say about bringing a wife or a family member with you. Do you have anyone with you at the moment you want to be in?
My wife's here, she's in the car at the present moment. I just felt a bit more comfortable hearing whatever I need to hear face to face.
Okay.
First for myself to take the information in before.
Okay.
To let myself
right.
Go through it before I tell anyone else.
So you're happy for me to tell you the results today?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So I've got 2 results to basically give you. So the results from the scope, the camera test, and the biopsy that they took a wee portion of it. Unfortunately, it's not as we hoped, which we hoped it was nothing. Okay. And what it shows is it's a cancer. Okay, essentially. Okay. So that piece of the bowel that they looked at and they took that sample from, that shows that it's got a cancer in it. Okay. You had another scan afterwards, okay, to try and assess the whole of the bowel and the other organs. Okay. What that shows is that in that spot we were worried about, that is probably a cancer. Okay. But it also shows that maybe it looks as though there might have been some spread to the liver, okay, from this as well. So we've got one wee bit in the liver that they're not too sure about, okay, but it shows a mass essentially that looks like a cancer in that part of the colon that we've looked at as well. No, that's okay. I understand this is a lot to take in for you. You take as much time as you need.
So, just give us 1 minute. I just need to.
No, that's fine. Take all the time you need.
So, I just need to take this in with obviously I've got 2 children and my wife's in the car. And just need to take this. I don't really want any hysteria. It's pretty. I just want to just breathe it, take it in as such. You just give me quite So, I don't know, is there anything you can tell me in regards to this present moment? What's the way forward?
Absolutely. So, at the moment, like I say, we've seen it looks as though, from what we're saying, we can't tell you for certain, but it looks as though that the cancer that we found in your colon might have spread to the liver. Now, we can't tell you that for definite. Okay? What we need to do is we need to gather a group of radiologists and consultants together, okay, and have a look at your case and decide what we're going to do about it, okay? It's called a multidisciplinary team meeting, okay? It's because it's doctors from all different disciplines that come in and have a look, and we have one of them once a week. So I've stuck you on the list. You'll be discussed on Monday morning by the team, okay? And they'll come up with a plan about what to do. And essentially what they'll be looking to see is whether there is a possibility of doing an operation, okay, to maybe try and remove the cancer. Or, because you're young, fit and healthy, you would be a good candidate if we could manage to get away with getting an operation to remove the cancer, or whether it would be worth doing some other scans to evaluate further as well. And further down the line, we'll be looking at things like maybe chemotherapy or trying to shrink the tumours in various different ways. So essentially what we'll do is we'll have a look all together as a team and come out with a plan as to the way forward, okay? I'll be at the meeting and I will give you a phone call straight afterwards to let you know what we're going to do, okay? Going ahead.
Today's what day is it today?
It's Thursday.
Thursday, Friday, Monday. Right. So obviously you told me that I'm just my mind's going a bit crazy. I just think it's a death sentence effectively. Am I right there? Am I wrong there?
So I wouldn't go as far as to say it's a death sentence. Certainly if the tumour, okay, the cancer, if that's localised to one particular bit, it might be we can take a portion of that bowel out. And if it's just one piece of tumour that's in the liver, sometimes we can look at operations as well in that to see what we want to do. It's important really going ahead to see whether we can take that portion of cancer in your bowel out. We evaluate what's going on with the liver, because if it's managed to reach the liver, then that makes things a bit more complicated going forward. So what we'll probably need to do is get some further imaging, so more tests to see what it looks like in the liver, okay? So maybe do another scan to have a look at that, and then probably we'll need to take a piece of that as well, so we'll need to take a biopsy of the liver as well, okay, which is done under local anaesthetic. It's just a wee pinch through the skin, okay. Once we have that kind of data in hand, then we can look at what we're going to be doing, okay. So it's not necessarily a death sentence, I wouldn't say that. I think it's really dependent upon these further tests that we do, what we can really do for you, okay. I can tell you, if it is localised just to that one part of the bowel, then certainly someone yourself who's quite kind of fit and well normally would be a good candidate for an operation, okay, to take out the cancer. Okay.